great news this week. I've reserved a new apartment. I have to go through a lot of paperwork to make it official that I'm moving to that apartment because they have to accept my guarantees that I'll pay. I don't know if in the United States or all over the world it's the same, that you have to legally guarantee with others people's money from their jobs pretty much, and properties. You put it it's collateral. I have to give the collateral if I don't pay the rent. I don't know if that's an Argentinian thing or what, but if I don't pay, they either take the money from the people that I put as collateral, their salaries, or if I put properties as collateral, they will sell that property to pay the contract, which is insane for leasing an apartment, that you are putting a whole apartment as a collateral. It's insane. Anyways, I know that that'll go through, because if they don't accept my collateral, because they are even picky about what you put as collateral, I'll tell them, look, I'll pay in advance 3 months and keep those more months in advance, so you're happy that I'm paying. And if a month I don't pay, you evict me and you maintain the 3 months in advance. So I'm sure it's going to go through, but I have to do that paperwork. Either way, I don't want to waste that much time on it. But I'm moving out of my expensive apartment. I still have to paint it and have it accepted, and for them to give me my deposit back, which it's a significant amount of money, $750. But I'm most worried about them accepting the apartment as is, and I don't have anything else to fix. I already fixed the floor and stuff. But yeah, the normal stresses of moving out and moving into a new apartment. My cat, that's the other thing, actually the biggest thing, that I can move her in, and for it to be as smooth as possible. Hopefully I can grab her and put her on her carrier, and that's it. And that's the most stressful part. It's tough sometimes to grab her. It's like I have one chance, because if she's all, that's stressful as fuck. And yeah, and once I'm moved into the new apartment, the good news is that the podcast producer that is delegating a client of his to me has gotten another client, and he's going to delegate that to me as well. And within those two clients, I will be making minimal $1,500, ideally even more, $1,700 and possibly $1,900. That will be a game changer for me. It will give me so much security, because I will have that income. I'll be spending like $1,400 a month between everything. I don't spend much. My biggest expenses are meat, because I pretty much have a carnivore diet. I only eat meat, fruits, and rice. I don't eat vegetables. And I buy the most expensive meat because it's delicious, which is ribeye. And I want to keep, that's like $300 and something a month just for food. It could be $200, so it's not a huge expense. I'd rather spend that extra $100. But then as for living expenses, having a roof, water, heat, everything, electricity, like and taxes and stuff like that, is like $750 a month, and then all the other living expenses is like in total $1,400. So if with one client I'm even saving money, which is funny how I went from that I'm thinking of. I used to spend as least as possible, and I enjoyed it so much. And when I got a huge client that was paying me between $3,000 I was making between $3,000 and $4,000 a month. I went on to this huge apartment just because I let my ego win me over, instead of just going to, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I didn't have an office. I was working in my living room, there wasn't any space, and it sucked. And instead of just moving to a normal 2-bedroom apartment, I went to a fucking huge 2-bedroom apartment with 3 baths, just so you have a sense of how big it is, just for me and my cat, which is completely stupid. And now I'm moving to a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. It's normal, living room, kitchen, 1 bathroom, and then the 2 bedrooms side to side. It's not small, like in the sense of a human being is more than enough for a human being. It's obviously small in terms of if you're a millionaire, it is small. Who gives a shit? And I want to go back to that way of living. Of course, I regret coming here. Instead of have saved a lot of money, I could have at least right now I would have like $24,000, actually $30,000, because I know I've overspent $1,000 a month, and I've been here for 30 months. That's crazy, right? Let's call it 15 to be 100% realistic. Let's call it $15,000. That's 100% sure that I would have that in my hand right now, and it's actually probably 30,000. That's why, I don't care about money. But having that as a safe net, I don't, obviously, I'm happy. It's like, I don't want to say the typical thing of I don't regret anything because it led me to where I am today, which is true, but that's like fake, in my opinion. Like, it's playing a trick. I obviously regret it, but I at least I'm taking that learning from that mistake, and I'll apply it moving forward, and I'll keep spending the least amount of money possible. It's stupid to buy stuff I don't need, which the only thing that I bought that I don't need is renting this apartment, because other than that I don't overspend on anything that's not valuable, because the meat that I eat that's valuable is what I put inside my body. The computer that I have, which was the best I could buy at the time. I spent $6,000 on the computer, but that's my workstation, so it's money well spent. Don't regret it in the least. And so I only overspent on where I was living, but I learned. The funny thing is that if I'm even a millionaire, it's like I didn't make it a home. There's no furniture, paintings, photos, or anything that makes it a home. So I did it. I didn't take advantage of it, and a full-on mistake. But now that I have good clients that I enjoy working with, and I'm earning, and I'll be earning even more money that will allow me to live a great life and still live way below my means. I'm excited for the future. Excited for this restart that I call it a restart, because it kind of is. Building my personal brand online. I'll be creating content. I'm not creating content every single day. I'm like in a weird state right now mentally, because I want to settle down with the clients that I have right now. Settle down. I think that's correct. A good way to express it. Like, I want to make sure my relationship with this podcast producer is solid, which it is, but it's been just 3 weeks. It's very, very little time. Hopefully the client that he's delegating me is happy and trusts me, and we keep growing together, and he adds more clients that he delegates to me, and I'm able to do the best I can, and he's satisfied with everything, and simply work. I'm not saying I'm just working. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but I'm glad that I'm valuing it, having a job, working, and being a productive citizen is something amazing. It shouldn't be taken for granted to have a job, to add to the world in a productive way in an industry that actually does something good, which is I want to work with fitness coaches. This podcast producer is more so just people that are professional yappers, but at least in stuff that I am aligned with and I think does good for the world. And that's what it's all about. And I want to make sure I only care about having a roof over my head that I'll have without spending too much money, having food on my plate, keep being healthy and training a lot, nurturing my community and my family, my girlfriend, and growing all together, making the place I live a home, learning more stuff, like learning how to paint, learning how to fix my motorcycle. I want to do all of that stuff. I want to make as much money as possible, but not to spend it, but just as a sign that I'm selling something to the world that is valuable. So I will always have the goal of making as much money as possible, but I don't want to spend it, like just the bare minimum. I want to have a good working car, like a Civic, a Corolla, something like that. I want to buy an old Civic, and if I'm going to buy a brand new one, it'll be a Corolla. And then, just living a great life, doing the things that having a very minimalistic life, and the few things that I do are done to close to perfection, like eating well, training well, nurturing my relationships well. That's it. Being extremely productive, living basically a full stoic life. My values are pretty much resumed in stoicism. It's the thing. It's like my God is stoicism, and I live by it, and I want to keep living by it. So that's it. That's a good overview of it. So everything's great, and hopefully I'll have. I don't think I gave specific updates on this video, but hopefully by next week the other week I'll be moving out officially. Hopefully by next week everything's settled with the paperwork. That'll be a good update. And the clients are settled as well, and everything's going smooth. There's going to be a good update for next week, which will pretty much be all the clients settled perfectly, or some did, some didn't, or everything went to hell. Who knows, right? But thank you for watching the entire video, and I'll see you next week.